Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Nicolette and I travel full-time in our camper van, overcoming hardships and limitations every single day to be able to live out our dream of traveling full-time and sharing our adventures with you. Today we're here to share a different perspective on van life. You may think it's all about freedom and endless adventure, but there's more to van life than that.
Don't get me wrong, van life is incredible and it's opened so many doors for us, and in just our short amount of time living in our van, we've made some incredible memories.
Yeah, we've definitely been to some amazing different mountains, lakes. We've been on crazy adventures. We've done a lot, I would say, especially with the different challenges we ran into a couple months into van life. We've been living van life for over 6 months now. It's been like 7 or something. And
is that it?
It's been 7 months. We built the van for like 8 months before that, and then thought of doing it for years before that. So it feels like a pretty long journey.
I feel like a lot has happened in 7 months, and a lot of ups and downs. A lot of really great things have happened, but
it's true.
A lot of life-shattering things have happened as well. So that's kind of crazy that 7 months has all happened in.
It's true. Sometimes a year feels like forever, but yeah. When we first started van life, we had a lot of control of the situation. We knew where we were going, we knew what we wanted to do, and we also knew what we wanted to accomplish. We had a direction with our journey.
We immediately went crystal mining because that's part of the reason why we built the van, is to uncover precious minerals and add them to our shop, and it's just what we love to do and something that we wanted to make.
Feels good to like pull something out of the earth. We feel like treasure hunters, and I don't know, we just love doing that.
Yeah, we were doing that pretty heavy, and that's like our first thing that we did, and that was something that we took a lot of time off doing while we were building the van, so it was nice to do that.
It's true. And when you feel you have that direction and purpose, everything's a little bit easier. So we have that control over our lives, and that control, ironically, and direction is what gave us true freedom in van life, because we were free to pursue what it was in our heart's desires, what we wanted to do, which was travel, new places, new people, new experiences, and doing what we love, which is treasure hunting, basically.
And seeing beautiful places. That's true, though. We were able to, on a drop of a dime, decide where we wanted to go, what we wanted to do, and just go do it.
Yeah, and that's freedom. So, I mean, if you're not obligated to work for another person, to be in a certain place, to take care of your home, whatever it is, you are then free to do other things. So that's what I define freedom as.
The thing about van life is real life doesn't just go away.
Yeah, it's true. There's certain things that will come up, like with Nicolette. She is a wheelchair user, but that alone we were already prepared for. And we knew sometimes medical stuff would come up. We would handle it. We would do what we can. But when she got her pressure wound, it's been a little rougher for us since she got her pressure wound,
Yeah, so the day that I discovered my wound was actually one of our favorite days ever in van life. We were at a beautiful place called Quartz Mountain State Park.
That was cool.
In Oklahoma, and it was one of our favorite state parks that we've ever visited. We had a great day. We took crystal pictures, and we took a walk on the beach, and it was just beautiful. We were kind of like the only ones there, so we had the place to ourselves. And
literally.
After that best day is when it took a total 360. Is it 360 or 180?
180.
180.
And we always knew that van life wasn't truly freedom, because when you're preparing for it, you have a more realistic understanding of it. When you're just watching it on YouTube or something like that, you get the highlights and you get the positives and you get the best parts of it. And that probably applies to any, niche out there or any lifestyle out there. There's different income brackets, there's different realities, there's different responsibilities. There's people who own businesses that live in van life. There's
people have houses, so they don't actually have to fully deal with van life.
Yep.
They kind of just, do it when they feel like it and they want a vacation.
Your particular circumstances that you have if you rent an apartment or live in a home are going to be the same thing in van life. The difference is, when you live in a home, you'll pay your mortgage, right? If you live in a van and you want a little bit of a newer one and you didn't have cash to pay it outright, you're going to have your van payment and you're going to have gas. And they kind of equal out a little bit. So the responsibilities of life living in a home or the direction of living in a van are very similar initially.
Yeah, I feel like we pay similar too. So we're not saving a bunch of money living in a van, ironically.
we're working on it. We do have to get a wheelchair lift for Nicolette, and we ran a fundraiser a couple months ago actually that raised about $3,500 towards it. We set that aside so we can save the rest of it to be able to get the wheelchair lift. So there's different expenses we have, and we have had some support we're really grateful for, that don't really allow us to fully save the way we would love to be able to do for our future.
So I don't think it's necessarily anything other than just regular life. I think that if you live in a van or you live in a home and you have a van payment especially, you're going to be paying about the same.
The responsibilities of life follow you to van life, and the cost of life follow you to van life. And some aspects of it are even more expensive. So,
and I think even more, like, you have to be more thought-provoking about it. Like, for instance, we can't just like live off our electricity endlessly and it comes from the power grid. We have to think of, you know, providing that every day, think of providing water, and be conscious of our usage. So if anything, I think that it actually might make it a little bit more, not harder, but you have to plan more. And, you know, what am I searching here for? Prepare more.
Like a homeowner, you have things that break that you need to fix.
That's another thing.
You need to know
that I'm not used to that.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, there is the freedom part in van life, but there's also very much the responsibility part. You know, Nicolette and I, we live in a van. You would think we're very much like hippies or, you know, very easygoing, and we are in some ways, but in other ways, we're also disciplined. You know, we work hard every single week. Nicolette spends hours, I would say like 15 hours, 20 hours a week planning logistics for our life. You know, there's a lot of different aspects of our life that is also very disciplined, and without that, you know, we probably wouldn't have a YouTube channel. We probably would just be parked somewhere and like not be experiencing the fun parts of life.
Logistics, that's a huge part of it, as Brian just said. So all of that is a lot every week, and it's not freedom.
It just has its own set of challenges. You know, van life isn't always perfect for us, especially now with, you know, we did have some direction towards Nicolette's medical care, but for the last couple months we didn't know what was happening. Only recently we figured out that there might be an end in sight, so, and some testing that will really help come to a conclusion for this. So until that point, we're just in limbo, kind of having a rough time because we can't travel far, have to be careful, so we can't really do much off of the outside of the van. You know, that gets challenging when it's about freedom and new experiences and climbing mountains and like,
and just being outside and enjoying nature and going, like, you know, all the things we plan are just on total
hold.
Yeah.
But they will be back, and we will, you know, get through this time. And if we lived in a home, we'd be doing the same exact thing. We'd be on hold, waiting, with worse healthcare, mind you. We're not advocating that don't do van life. We would still choose van life knowing all of this, but we've always said we want to keep it real with you guys and make sure that you understand the reality of a situation you're going into. We don't ever want to push someone into van life because our lifestyle looks pretty cool. That's why we kind of show the boring stuff a lot. And you know,
some of it is boring. It's not all traveling either. Like, especially if you do travel a lot, there are going to be times when you need to just stay in one place for your own mental sanity. And that's what happened to us recently. So we're just staying
going
in one campground and just enjoying some downtime. While there is a lot of freedom, there's a lot of planning and structure that you have to provide for yourself, and so that makes it a little less free, especially when life does throw curveballs at you.
And that is why this is titled Van Life Isn't Freedom, because it is freedom in a lot of ways, but don't get the rose-colored glasses that makes you think it's a solution to everything and you won't have any responsibility if you travel full-time. If you travel full-time, I'd almost argue you have more responsibility, and it's worth knowing that before you get into it. So yeah, that's our little talk for the night, I guess.
Yeah, the motto is that, you know, van life is great, it's free, but it doesn't, you still have to plan for life. So just know that going in, and know that you might even have to plan a little more to get the freedom that van life does provide, because it does have a lot of freedom. It just requires a little bit more planning.
We do have a lot of adventures coming up. It's just right now health is the main focus and priority. So that might mean that we do more videos like sharing how we use the bathroom in here, because we've got that a lot.
That's
Maybe
like probably
we'll
our number
talk
one
about
question, and I do think it's a little interesting. So
yeah,
I
we
guess.
will do that video in the future. Maybe if you guys have any questions for us about van life, about us, about anything
You're curious on about living in a van or living in a van with a disability, we're happy to, you know, answer some of those questions.
We like to go and adventure and take you on that, but it would be smart for us right now to conserve our energy, to take care of Nicolette, and since there is potentially an end in sight in this medical journey and surgery might be on the table, we might have to take a small break during healing. So we would love to be able to do videos for you still. We just want to do them kind of in a talking format, maybe question and answer, and then get back to travel vlogs. So we might throw a travel vlog in there and surprise you. We'll see.
Sure, there'll be some fun things along the way, because we always try to stop and enjoy the little things that we can. That's a huge part of it too, especially if you are going through something. Just stop and like really try to have fun and try to see the great in all the little things that are around you.
It's true. Definitely give this video a thumbs up if you got any information from this, and subscribe to the channel. We also do release videos 24 hours early now for channel members. It's just a way to be able to support our journey on the road, our journey getting healthy.
Our membership part of our channel is kind of so that we can make better content for you guys and focus more of our energy on that. So it really helps us do that.
It's true. If we don't have to worry about getting brand deals and pumping out a bunch of content all the time to be able to make a living, memberships help us focus on just making the more quality, more important content, more fun too. So yeah, definitely check out the join button. It's also in the description below, and it's like $1.90 a month. One of the tiers that gives you access to anything. If you want to support a little more, it's $5 a month. You can do that as well. So you get a little thing next to your name, which is cool. We'll do lives sometimes, and that will give you some like special chats and stuff that you could do. So yeah, we'd love if you check that out, and appreciate you guys tuning in. While van life isn't freedom,
I still feel pretty free considering. So it is free, but not without
regular life. That's it. That's it. This shouldn't have to be a video, I guess, but we have seen that people get surprised. There's
some people get insulting too. They're like, "Oh, that doesn't look like very much
homeless
fun." I
people.
saw a comment that said, "Oh, that doesn't look like very much fun," and that's kind of like one of the things that provoked this video. Is no, it's not always fun. You're still gonna live your regular life, and life is just not 100% fun all the time. It's real life.
When you're seeing stuff online, you're normally seeing loud, exaggerated emotion and exaggerated activities,
And happiness
because
and
that's what captures your attention. That's what gets people to view. But the reality of life is more the in-betweens. I mean, those moments happen, but they're like few and far between, and the in-betweens of life is just normal, relaxed.
yeah, like once a week or 1 week you might do something really awesome, and then for the next 5 days you might just kind of hang out, do laundry, get your van together, and
Plan things, eat healthy.
Plan your next step. So
yeah, so it's it's like real life. We're rambling. We're probably just gonna post this no edit.
all right.